Happy Random Ass Sunday. We're playing with my new toy. Unfortunately, it's the middle of the day, so there's some brightness. Nothing I can do about that. I play when I can. So we're looking at my new On 4K Pro streaming device. That's quite a mouthful. In fact, I have some of my cold pop. There. Now, maybe I can say that easier. 4K Pro streaming device. Anyway, these are $50. So compared with the prior 4K streaming devices, the Depender and Yoke devices, for that extra $30, you're getting 3 gigabytes of RAM versus 32 gigabytes of internal storage versus 8. The Pro devices have a full-size USB 3 port. That's cool. So you do not need a micro USB OTG adapter cable like you do on the previous devices. It has a remote finder function. You can push a button on it and your remote will chirp. I received a backlit remote, so that's nice. Some people are complaining that they did not receive the backlit version of the remote. I don't know what's going on with that. Another super neato thing about this device is it has exFAT support for external storage. So that's actually the reason that I bought one, because that's neat. The Depender devices supported NTFS, which they removed from the Yoke devices. So that sucks, especially for people like me that use these as Kodi devices. There you go. Woohoo! New device. Android TV OS version 12. I just set this up and only added Kodi. 20 gigabytes free. Not too bad, especially compared with the previous versions of the device, the $20 ones. This is the same exFAT formatted hard drive that I used in previous videos. Here's the exFAT formatted drive. This is a public domain file. It's all over YouTube on the public domain related channels. I shouldn't have any issues demoing Kodi with this legally. Take note of the size, 7.65 gigabytes. Obviously, this is not FAT32. All right, you get the idea. It works. So is this worth buying? Something to keep in mind is this uses the same CPU that the previous versions do. I mean, even if they're slightly different model numbers, they're using the same cores and similarly spec'd GPUs. I know the Yock added one of the newer compression schemes that Netflix uses, Netflix and YouTube, I think, but there's really no major difference for most people between any of these devices in terms of CPU horsepower. This is a Google Assistant device, so it's a speaker with a built-in mic. The Depender and Yoke devices are not. It's physically a lot larger, but I mean, that's another piece of the puzzle that I'm not demoing. I mean, if you're looking for a Google Assistant device, $50 is not a horrible price. And then when you look at the extra RAM and internal storage, I think it's a decent deal. If you're just looking for a generic streaming device and you're not concerned with external storage or Kodi, you'd be fine with the Yoke device for $20. Because of the nerdy crap that I'm into, I'm always trying to put Kodi on devices and play stuff. And I've gone over the stuff in some of my prior videos of why I do that, beyond just being a nerd. But yeah, so it's worth at least looking at the specs and other people reviewing these devices. I mean, there's people that have dedicated streaming channels where they do these devices. They go into a lot more depth than me. This is just, my next thing is to try some emulation on here, specifically maybe some of the platforms where I'm playing ISOs, CHD files, or bin queues, or maybe something like the HDF files, the great big giant hard drive images for Amiga emulation and such, and see if the extra RAM and the USB 3 interface speed to external storage makes a difference. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I mean, having extra RAM and a faster connection speed to your storage, that certainly can remove potential bottlenecks. Kind of hard to test that sometimes to know what's causing what, but for a modest amount of money to increase specs in a way where you remove potential bottlenecks, not a bad deal for a nerd like me. Anyway, there you go. My quick overview of my new toy.